Hello and welcome back to 20th Century Dude. And we are going to be doing things differently today. We are going to be examining my VHS collection. And yes, sorry, there are some blurry images. I took them on a very short notice, so they may not turn out as good as they should be. And I'm not going to go over every single tape I have in my collection because that would take too long. But I am only going to go over some of the main ones or the ones that kind of stick out to me. And I guess the first ones we can start with are the Mad Max trilogy, as you can clearly see. That was something I saw the box set on eBay. That was something I just had to have. I'm sure a lot of people maybe watching this channel probably grew up with Mad Max on VHS, so yeah, hopefully that brings back some memories for you. And here's Airport, which I believe was one of the foundations for the Airplane spoof, of course. I have yet to watch it, of course. And here we see the Jurassic Park to the Lost World tape. I always like that cover. VHS has always has some, great cover art, but that's just, it's not completely art, but it's some great design on the front. Really, really great stuff. There's Uncle Buck. What a great movie. John Candy was so wonderful. And anything I've seen of John Candy, it's been great. The Jailhouse Rock movie was Elvis is something I've seen just recently, actually, and I like it for what it is. Apparently, it was super controversial back in the day because some story choices that were made. And here we see the James Bond story VHS tape. That's like about an hour-long documentary chronicling James Bond from the 1960s up until The World Was Not Enough. I don't know if that really made it to like a DVD bonus feature or not. As far as I know, it was only on that tape. It was the last thing of my dad's VHS collection before he got rid of it. I think that was the only thing we kept. So at least we still have that, if anybody's aware of that tape. Yes, and there's Taz's Jungle Jams. It's a tape of a lot of the Looney Tunes of the Tasmanian Devil, a few others that aren't. Yeah, I've always seemed to have that tape in my family. It's been basically watching it since like day zero of my life, it seems. And we're getting into the Disney collection. Probably should collect a few more of these before Disney stops making their physical media and whatnot. And now we're getting into the Pixar section. I've been meaning to get, I think, was it the special edition brand of the first Toy Story that has the Tin Toy short at the beginning. And I know the Toy Story 2 tape, that one I've been hunting down for a while. And thankfully I found a new copy last year. I know we got rid of the old tapes in 2006, and I've been wanting it back for a while, because the DVDs I have are apparently the only version of Toy Story 2 that don't have the outtakes at the end. I wanted a version that had the outtakes at the end. So I finally got one, and I'm very proud of it. Now we're getting into Jim Carrey territory. I think the only one of these I haven't seen is Bruce Almighty, so I'll need to get around to that. The Truman Show, that's a very good one. And sometimes I will put some newer films back onto old tape. It was a hobby I had for a while with my first VCR. Galaxy Quest, that's some good stuff. And now we're heading into Star Trek territory with some original series episodes. I used to have a few more of these tapes, although I think there were some of the more, I guess, worse episodes of the OG series, and they weren't in great condition anyway. I know the other one, I don't even think entered the VCR at all, it just kept getting spit out, so, but whatever, they were the worst ones anyway, so I guess it's not a huge loss. And yeah, now we have Star Trek, the motion picture special longer edition, which is I suppose is a fine version of the film, but nothing more. I don't know if it was the best extended edition they could have possibly made. I feel like it was just kind of haphazardly just stitched extra scenes together, but yeah. And of course, Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country has this tape has extra scenes put in it as well, but thankfully it actually matches up better than what this motion picture special longer version does. And although it's a bad film, I've been meaning to hunt down the Star Trek Nemesis tape as well. The last Star Trek movie to be on VHS, although not very widespread, obviously. I think Paramount pretty much went to the DVD realm by that point. And now we're getting into Dirty Harry territory. I actually had this entire box set, found this at a Goodwill for a buck. 5 movies for a buck. So honestly, for me, I mean, VHS tapes are cheaper anyway, depending on what you get, but that's kind of a steal for me. Not very fond of the last movie, ironically called The Deadpool, but not the Ryan Reynolds one. And here we have Back to the Future. I don't know, the Part 2 tape doesn't work for some reason. It just won't go into doggone VCR. I don't know why. 1 and 3 are fine, but the second one, I don't know what its problem is. And there's Patton. That's a good movie. I do need to get a new copy of A Few Good Men. It's very snowy. That's actually my second copy of Gone with the Wind as well. The second tape originally didn't work. And of course, I can't resist The Godfather on tape. Of course we gotta have it. That's actually how I started these movies, was this box set of tapes. And now we're getting into a Star Wars territory, which, of course, as far as the original trilogy is concerned, I own multiple copies of. Also, as you can see, own multiple copies of The Phantom Menace. I have the widescreen, box set, and the Phantom Menace full screen, which everybody's more familiar with. The Episode 3 one, it's a fake. It was a fan-made one. It was a fake, and I did not realize that at the time. And I got it, and then when I put it in the VCR, I was terribly confused. But yeah, here, we have A New Hope. I think I own that Star Wars movie more on, I think probably the most. I own it on CED, DVD, Blu-ray, multiple VHS copies. Of course, despecialized, and there's Disney Plus if that counts. But yeah, that movie probably out of all of them is probably the one I have the most. And as far as special edition is concerned, I do want to hunt down, what was it, the silver one, which is the widescreen one. The gold one, as you can see here, the one that was distributed more, that was for full screen. Of course, if I can hunt down the LaserDisc as well, that would be great too. And then here we have the 2000 re-release of the special editions. Some nice box art. Of course, we needed a classic in there as well. The Home Alone movies, of course, the only, I think, first 3 on VHS. The only 3 I've seen. I need to get to the other 3, even though I heard they are kind of bad. But everybody likes the first 2 more anyway, because as Macaulay Culkin, nobody really talks about the other ones. And I do need to catch up on my Planet of the Apes movies as well, as a reminder to myself. The Green Mile, I found that one brand new in shrink wrap. Good stuff. Oh yeah, as well as Ocean's 11, which I've not seen. I need to get around to it. I was actually surprised to find that somewhere. And 4 hours of Looney Tunes. Never know you're going to need 4 hours of Looney Tunes to keep you entertained. Just like Michael Keaton's Batman. Great stuff, great stuff. He'd be my second favorite Batman. Of course, Chris Bale is obviously the best one, but if I had to pick a second, it'd be Keaton. That one was also brand new. I played that tape for the first time last summer. The Smoking the Bandit tape. Some good stuff. Forrest Gump, that's probably one of the best quality tapes I have in my collection. As well as Lawrence of Arabia, which, yeah, it is 4 hours of sand. I get that, but it's a well-made movie. I mean, you can't really argue with that. Although you can also argue Dune is pretty much 4 hours of sand. Oh, yes, Transformers the movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. I remember watching that, what was it? The first time I watched it, it was my 8th birthday in 2010. And I was very, very surprised, as you know, of course, as an 8-year-old, but it's a film that has influenced me ever since. And honestly, for as many times as I played that tape, I'm surprised it actually hasn't, broken already, or even significantly like decreasing quality, and the quality is still very good actually, and it was even used when I first got it. So they just can't be that bad, I would think. But yeah, always leave room to watch it a couple times a year when I try to get the chance. And here's Days of Thunder. I've been meaning to see that one yet. Last Crusade, that's the one I own the most, Indiana Jones wise. I have it on VHS, LaserDisc, and DVD. Oh, Judgment Day. Yes, yes. Of course, the best Terminator of the bunch, but that I actually found that tape was a summer of 2020, 2021, I think. Uh, so yeah, that's good stuff. Great tape to watch it on. You know, yeah. I still don't know what's on that tape with the white cover. I guess I'll have to find out eventually. Yeah, I got a little Hungry Men in Black on the bottom there, a little tear. Drumline was one I was surprised to find. I didn't expect to see that one in a Goodwill, but yeah, of course I'd get that one. I played drums in a band, so yeah, it only made sense too. Oh, yes, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Uh, I obviously had to have these. This is my childhood in a box, basically. It's a shame we didn't get Spider-Man 3. As divisive as a movie it is, shame I couldn't get that one on VHS and complete the collection. Although supposedly there's like a Korean one or something on VHS, but of course that's not English, and yeah, that would depend on whether or not I even want a foreign copy of the film. And there's Fast and the Furious before they went off the rails and into space and all that crap for some reason. And there's Ernest Goes to Camp. You can't go wrong with that movie. Some good stuff. And here's Ghostbusters. I think this tape was from the 90s, I think. Because the way they pan and scan, I believe they pan and scan digitally in the 90s. I think in the 80s they did it a little differently. So it was just something I could obviously tell. The pan and scan was different compared to other tapes. Oh yes, and got some more Terminator uh, in this box set. Pretty nice thrift store find. And this was a version of that was a half hour longer, I believe, that James Cameron put together. That was Forbidden Planet. That was basically recorded off somebody's cable television, I believe, back in the day. And this Die Hard set, oh yeah, very shiny, very nice. Tapes play very good. So yeah, I'm proud of this little box set. And of course, the cleaner tape. Never know when you have to go speedy clean. And that's all I have for today.